Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Hexen. In the last episode we made it through the winnowing hall and we ended up in this new world where we got greeted by an ominous figure asking us if we were ready to die. We're certainly not ready to die, so let's head on in and see what's in store for us. This map is called the Seven Portals, and it is named as such because there are 7 portals leading out of here, the 7th of which will take us to the next episode. The other 6 will take us to 3 different sub-maps where we will have to do various things in order to proceed. But first we are greeted with the usual horde of Ettins and Afrits, so let's just dispose of those. And try not to get hit too much in the process. Oh, hello. Right, pick up some goodies. In this episode we will be using the fleshed flasks a bit more extensively. Well, for now the only thing we can do is pull this switch here, which opens this door behind it, and we are introduced to a new enemy, the Chaos Serpent. Now these guys enjoy throwing fireballs at you, so be ready for a quick strafe. And yeah, they do a lot of damage. Pulling the switch also dropped this platform to reveal 3 quartz flasks, which is always useful. So we head on in here, head up to this area and pick up this quartz flask to trigger these 2 doors opening on either side. These here are mana crystals. They are the ammunition for our second weapon that we will be picking up in a not so distant future. But for now we head into this icy cave, and I'd like here to point out another little neat feature that was modified in the Doom engine for Hexen, which is slippery floors. Pick up the ammo and head up with the lift, and alright, we have another portal, so let's head on in. Now this map is the Guardian of Ice. And it's gonna be a very frost-themed level. There's not so many places we seem to be able to go, so let's head on straight and... yeah, when you move in here the floor starts to drop, revealing a lot of enemies. It's easiest if you can pick off the Afrits first. After the Afrits are dead, it's a fairly simple matter to dispose of the remaining Ettins. Try to keep them grouped up to take full advantage of the piercing attack of the Sapphire Wand. Alright, pick up the goodies along the edge here. And grab some health if you need it. Now this is an Amulet of Warding. This is another armor item similar to the Platinum Helmet we saw in the Winnowing Hall. Pull this switch and this triggers some action here with these pillars. So wait for the dust to settle and look for this indentation of a sword that has now appeared on the floor and the ceiling. You want to step into the pillar it's pointing at. If you step into either of the others, you will die. And oh! Now it seems we're back in the 7 portals, so that was a rather pointless excursion, right? Well, not quite. Because now this door and this door has opened, and we're gonna start with this door. So get that Afrit here, there, alright. Pull this switch to open this alcove and revealing another Chaos Serpent. It also opens a door in here where we find an Afrit, so alright. Pick up some quartz flask and some mana, and we have yet another portal. So let's head on in. this is a Guardian of Fire. This is a fire-themed level with lots of lava. Move on in to trigger the lava and wait for it to settle down. Oh, there's a neat little trick you can do here with the flechette. Move in here and trigger the Afreets and drop a flechette immediately. And blow them all up. Alright. And what have we here? Frost shards. Now this is our second weapon of the mage, and it works pretty much as advertised in that it freezes enemies solid when you have damaged them sufficiently. Now you will notice that the projectiles have a bit of a spread in this weapon. And that makes it really ineffective to use at a distance. In very close quarters it can be really effective, but I think in most situations the Sapphire one is better, so you won't see me using it much. We come over here, and here we have a Falcon Shield. This is yet another armor piece, and here we have a puzzle switch. Now, these switches form a set where you need to pull several switches in order to make something happen in the main hub map. And we will be coming back to these in future episodes, but for now let's pull this one to be informed that 1/3 of the puzzle has been solved on the 7 portals. Alright. Let's see what else we got here. Pick up some more mana. And down here we have a door that needs the fire key, which we don't have yet, so we can't do anything with that. Well, here we have sort of this picture of a demon face. We can press it to reveal a hidden door. Pick off the essence on this walkway. By the way, there's a very deep pit on the other side and you will die if you fall down. So, line up with the flechette row here and run. That triggers an earthquake which causes the walkway to collapse and the door here closed. Jump over here and run all the way back along this little edge and move in here. Wait for the Afreets to come about and pick them off. Come on, you. Come on. I think that was all of them. Pull this switch and very carefully step back out onto the ledge. Move back down here and jump across to pick up a flame mask. Now, what on earth is a flame mask? That is a puzzle item that we will be needing later. But for now, I think that's all we can do here, so pick up some health if you need it, and otherwise head back to the 7 portals. Alright, let's check out the other door that opened. This one over here. Dispose of the Afreet and the Ettins, and then pull this switch. We got another Chaos Serpent, and completely symmetrical to before, we have another door opened in here. Alright. Grab the goodies, and head into the new portal. Now, this is the Guardian of Steel, and I really love this map. It's very atmospheric. The texturing, the music and the lighting effects are just creepy and ominous. I love it. Now, once you step out here, enemies will start pouring down from these steps, so be careful. Wait for them to come down. And pick them off. We get introduced to a new enemy in this map, which are the Centaurs. Centaurs are annoying as fuck. when they get damaged, they raise their shield and enter this stance where they can't be damaged, and they will reflect any projectile attack back towards the attacker. The mage's sapphire ones is the sole exception to this, as I mentioned previously, which makes it very handy for dealing with the centaurs. They still can't be damaged though, but at least you don't have to worry about getting your shots back in your face, like the cleric, for instance, who has a very hard time with his second weapon. As it so happens that flechettes are also pretty much tailor-made to dealing with centaurs, because the explosion can actually still damage them while they're in the stance. And the cleric's flechettes, which releases a gas cloud, will just take them out immediately. Guess that compensates for his second weapon sucking to dealing at them. Anyway, we come over to the other side and have 2 more centaurs to deal with. Alright. Now, be careful, because behind this door there are a lot of enemies, including a chaos serpent. Alright. There's a switch here, and if we head over to the other side, we'll see that there is a switch just like it. I will come back to those in a second, but for now we have another room full of enemies here to deal with, so rinse and repeat from before. Go. You can move down here, and after you kill the agent, you can pick up some more flechettes. You can also spot some monsters through this little opening here, and we will be coming down there shortly. So it certainly pays to pick off as many enemies as you can in advance. We move up here into the center area of the map, where we find yet more centaurs and afrits, so dispose of those. Drop some flechettes if you need it. Alright. You can see the flechette is really effective at dealing with the centaurs. Otherwise they just take ages to kill. We have a door here which requires the steel key, which we don't have yet. But over on the other side we have a similar door which does not require a key. Be careful, as there's a chaos serpent behind it. This is actually an elevator, so when you move in here and after the door closes, we head on down. Now, we can't go this way, but we can go this way. Before we head into this room, be sure to head down to this corridor for a hidden quartz flask. Now, the item we see there is the mesh armor. This is the last of the 4 different armor pieces, and yeah, pick it up to gain some armor. There are some chaos serpents in this dark cage here, so be careful of those. You can get one from this side, and we can get another one from the other side. And we have another puzzle switch. Alright. Now, you will notice here that this texture on this wall is the same as the texture over here. And what you're meant to deduce is that this is one big slab of metal, that this is the same piece of metal, and that it can move. And how are we gonna get it to move? Well, that's where we're gonna come back to those switches I mentioned earlier. Oh, hello. So if you come down here, now this switch will cause the metal slab to move towards this side of the map. So if we pull it once, we heard a whizzing sound, which means that the metal slab has moved. So now, if we head down the elevator again, we see that now this area is barred, and this is open. Alright. Again, as I mentioned, there's another Chaos Serpent in here, so be careful. And that disposes of him. And we have another puzzle switch, which informs us that another third of the puzzle has been solved. But this is actually the third puzzle switch we pull, so we should expect that the entire puzzle has been solved now, right? No, not quite, because there are actually 2 sets of 3 puzzle pieces, and we have now pulled 2 in one set and 1 in the second set. So we still have 3 more to find. But for now, that's all we can do in this level, so let's once again head back to the 7 portals. Alright. I think this is actually be a good place to stop this video, so hope you had fun, and see you in the next episode, where we will be taking on the other side of this map and see where those portal leads us.